Good morning, everybody. This is Tascha from the Uni High Library, and that's Susie. Say hi, Susie.
Hi.
And we're here today, and I wanted to show you something, actually. I'm standing on this chair so I can show it to you. This is actually a pretty interesting image. It's the 1946, spring of 1946 class panorama picture. So there were two groups of kids. I don't know if they were equal in size, but certainly there were more than just this that were graduating at this time. It's kind of interesting to see who they are. So they had a winter and a spring class every year. And this was actually sent to Mr. McClure because he's the journalism teacher. Somebody found that online, and his father, I guess, was in this class, so he sent him this picture with some interesting information. I kind of like just looking at this. I actually thought what was really interesting was that recently a teacher said, where is the grove? One of my students needs to know. And I thought, well, of course they don't know, because a grove is actually a stand of trees. And you can see here in this image, the trees were there. You can also see the two stairwells. The one we just saw before was going up to the admin. That's the one by G10. But you can see they were all trees here, so that's why it's named the Grove, and people standing on each tree. And I just thought it's just a very interesting image because, you know, it tells you like kind of who was here. I mean, we don't really know much about who they were, but, you know, you kind of looking at these faces and the clothing and sort of how they're all presenting themselves, and, you know, you know, who were these people, and what are their histories in relationship to the land here and the school. Something that caught my eye was, you know, the students, Asian students, or probably Japanese, who, you know, this is actually spring of 1946, and that March was when the internment camps were closed. So it's pretty significant to see these kids sitting here and what they had just come from, and, you know, back in school, and, you know, what was going through their minds. So a lot of different students and stories, which I'm really curious about to know. Would love to know more about who all these people were, and you know, just what was happening in 1946, what you might notice or think about. Certainly different hairstyles. You'll notice in the back there's looks like a well, or maybe just a place the stream passed underneath, which is pretty interesting. And it's still water running underneath. We still have the springs, and, you know, those springs are significant. They provided water to the Tongva Indians from 400 BC onward, and that's, you know, 2,500 years ago. They were there for a long, long time. I think in 1769, Father Junípero Serra came through and camped here, and interestingly, it was just this summer, in the moment of all of the protests, that his statue was taken down in Los Angeles by Native American people. So there's a lot to explore there. And I just thought I'd invite you to do that, to look at what Uni was, and maybe think, who knows, maybe you might want to research some of this from this time gone past, because there's just so much in this image, so much about all of these people, so much history of these many different families, perhaps the children of people whose the street names are named for now, you know, different people who, you know, own this land, occupied this land, and here we are now. And if nothing else, I'm just very glad to be here with all of you. I graduated 40 years after this in 1986, and I'm just glad to be here with you now. I think Uni is better than ever, and I'm just so proud to be able to be of service to the students who are here today. You're an amazing group of young people that I have great faith in.